The WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Literally. I'm trying to think of like my rent for where I stay at. I'm gonna do the math real quick.
It might cover that. Yeah,
It
definitely covers that.
What is I don't even know my salary.
Angel Reese just dropped a bombshell by announcing she's leaving the WNBA, claiming her salary isn't enough to cover her bills, and that apparently OnlyFans can. It sounds outrageous, but in true Angel Reese fashion, her exit couldn't be anything less than dramatic.
Problem for Angel Reese, her rent is $8,000 a month. Earlier this week, she complained about the generous donations that she receives from the NBA not being enough to pay her exorbitant rent.
You don't even... Yo! I'm living beyond my means!
She's essentially claiming that her $3,439 WNBA salary can't cover her $8,000 monthly rent, but conveniently left out the fact that she has lucrative sponsorship deals and a net worth big enough to buy a small island. Honestly, blaming financial struggles for this career pivot feels like a weak excuse, especially when the real conversation is about her controversial move into adult entertainment and bold modeling.
I'm a beautiful girl. Like, I'm a beautiful woman. I've been posting pictures in my bikinis. I got a nice body and I work hard for it. And if I want to post a picture in my bikini, I should be able to without being sexualized.
She could have simply bowed out quietly, and most people would have welcomed the WNBA becoming just a little less toxic.
It's kind of like the league is in its baddie era.
Yeah.
So right now
it's a baddie era.
For real.
Sure. Like, I love the tunnel walks. Everybody getting fitted for games. We looking good.
Let's be real. Ever since Angel Reese stepped into the WNBA, her Instagram feed has generated more headlines than her jump shot. You'd think being a rookie in one of the biggest women's basketball leagues would keep her locked in on the game, but instead her social media turned into a runway of bold photo shoots and artistic poses that had about as much to do with basketball as I do with quantum physics. And the shift wasn't even subtle.
This league does not have the money to pay you. They don't have the money to pay the minimum wage that you are generously collecting now, much less the millions of dollars that WNBA players will potentially demand this offseason. Make no mistake about it. That video from Angel Reese, that was 100% intentional.
And it didn't stop there. While most rookies were grinding to prove themselves on the court, Angel was busy making noise about her paychecks, or the lack of them. She wasn't holding back either. Instead of just lacing up and playing ball, she practically waved a flag shouting, "I'm not making enough money." And then came the infamous $8,000 a month rent bombshell. Because, of course, nothing screams sympathy like complaining about affording luxury rent in Chicago. It turned into an entire spectacle, with everyone talking more about her outrageous housing costs than her actual game.
Clearly, she goes on to say that her WNBA salary doesn't pay her rent.
This is where things really got spicy. When Angel revealed she was dropping $8,000 a month on a high-rise apartment, the internet practically gasped in unison. Fans were left scratching their heads. How does a rookie justify spending $96,000 a year just on rent? Even Angel herself seemed a little shocked, almost like she hadn't realized she was living way beyond her means. But seriously, how do you not notice your bank account screaming every month? Fans weren't buying it, and plenty of them said what everyone was already thinking. Girl, you're a rookie. Maybe don't sign a lease that costs more than your entire yearly salary. A rookie mistake, on the court and off it.
The average rent in Chicago is around $2,000 a month. Now, to be fair, I am sure $2,000 is just enough to get you a premier dump in the city. But Angel Reese, she works in a dump every day, so the conditions shouldn't really bother her. $24,000 a year in rent. That would be around a third of her salary. Now, that is higher than the 25% that's recommended, but Angel Reese, she should be able to get by living donation to donation with rent being $2,000 a month.
When it comes to Angel Reese and her so-called financial struggles, things are a lot more complicated and, honestly, a lot more entertaining than they first appear. Sure, her WNBA salary of $3,439 sounds modest, especially compared to NBA stars pulling in enough cash to fund their own space programs. But focusing on that single number is like staring at the tip of an iceberg while ignoring the massive chunk of ice underneath. The truth is, Angel's bank account is a lot healthier than she'd like people to believe.
So her WNBA salary doesn't pay her rent. Now, her WNBA salary is like $74,000. So she makes a regular American salary for an extraordinary amount of attention that she gets. Now, obviously, she's cashing in.
Between her endorsements, nil deals, and her participation in the shiny new unrivaled league, Angel Reese is reportedly raking in anywhere from $1 million to $5 million a year. That's a whole lot of zeros. So when she starts acting like she's barely scraping by just to keep the lights on, it leaves everyone scratching their heads.
With endorsements and all of that. But, you know, isn't there an incentive? If you're in the NBA and you've got a guaranteed contract of 5, 10 plus $1 million, whatever, you don't necessarily have an incentive to go out and make headlines.
Let's not forget, Angel Reese was one of the biggest winners of the NCAA's rule change that allowed athletes to profit from their name, image, and likeness. She hit the jackpot after her breakout run with LSU, leading them to a national championship in 2023. From there, her nil deals skyrocketed. Brands were practically lining up to throw money at her, eager to plaster her face on everything from sneakers to skincare.
And by the way, like if she didn't have all the other things that LSU and now certainly the WNBA, the exposure of those two places has gotten her all those lucrative contracts away from on the playing court. Her rent is $8,000 a month, Ricky.
She's got a nicer place than I do, evidently.
I was going to say, yeah, I might transition to go play in the WNBA. No.
And she didn't waste a second cashing those checks. Those endorsement deals alone are bringing in millions, far more than most WNBA players could ever hope to earn just from playing ball. So it feels a little wild when she starts talking about being financially strained. But here's where the plot thickens. Angel's not just stacking cash from endorsements. She's also part of the Unrivaled League, a brand new basketball venture built around giving female athletes more control and ownership.
Just recently announced you're playing in Unrivaled.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just tell me how excited you are for that.
I'm really excited. For one, I came straight from college, so knowing that I don't have to go overseas and I'm able to play still in the States is something that I wanted. It's Miami. So
the Yams.
The Yams. So I'm excited for that.
And when I say ownership, I mean real ownership. These athletes are actually getting stakes in the league. They're not just players, they're investors, which is practically unheard of in sports. That move alone is putting even more money into Angel's pocket. So when you really look at her finances, we're not talking about someone barely scraping by. She's sitting on income streams most people can only dream about.
Angel Reese has things to say. She says that, and again, she can't decide if she wants to be the villain or not. One day she's the victim. One day she's saying things that make her villainous. She says that she wants to bring trash talk to women's basketball.
Which brings us to the real issue, Angel Reese's image crisis. On one hand, she wants the public to see her as just a regular person struggling to pay bills like everyone else. On the other hand, she's flexing her trash-talking, bad girl attitude while cashing massive checks. It's like she's trying to play both the underdog and the villain at the same time, and honestly, it's leaving people confused. Early on, fans loved her bold, in-your-face personality. Who could forget when she pointed to her ring finger after LSU's championship win? It was iconic. She felt like a breath of fresh air, shaking up the usual sports narrative.
Yo, I'm living beyond my means. It's like, no, my rent is more than that. It's 8,000. I'm living beyond my means. I don't even know my salary for WNBA.
Obviously, you're fortunate to be income, but think about how many people don't and have to actually live off that.
I know.
That's really sad.
Angel Reese's tough girl persona is starting to feel more like an act. with fans who once loved her confidence now rolling their eyes at her constant off-court complaints. If she fully embraced the villain role, like Dennis Rodman or Bill Laimbeer, she'd probably earn more respect, but instead she flip-flops between seeking love and playing the bad girl. At the same time, her Instagram has shifted from showcasing a rising basketball star to looking more like a provocative model portfolio, filled with bikini shots, daring outfits, and glamorous poses. This shift has only fueled long-standing rumors, circulating since mid-2024, that she's preparing for a move to OnlyFans, and lately it feels less like speculation and more like she's slowly nudging fans toward that inevitable announcement.
It's been happening for a really, really, really long time now. And now it's just like, okay, like find something new.
To be fair, Angel has always been outspoken, and her Instagram has long served as a window into her life. But as those windows have become more revealing, people started connecting the dots. Is she building a brand beyond basketball, or making a full-on pivot into the risque world of platforms like OnlyFans? Because let's be real, her feed these days looks more like that of a high-profile influencer than a professional athlete, and naturally, the rumors began flying faster than a three-pointer.
I'm a beautiful girl. Like, I'm a beautiful woman. I've been posting pictures in my bikinis. I got a nice body and I work hard for it. And if I want to post a picture in my bikini, I should be able to without being sexualized.
Moreover, Reese's social media presence isn't the only thing stirring the pot. While she's busy posting daring photos, she's also gone on record, during an Instagram live, no less, complaining about being sexualized, frustrated that men constantly reduce her to just her looks. And this is where things start to get tricky.
Conference and I was talking about being sexualized. Like, I guess people thought that was like because I post pictures in my bathing suits. No, like multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me like naked. Literally.
Really?
They have sent it to my family members. My family members are like uncles are sending it to me like,
no.
Are you naked on Instagram?
Fans couldn't help but point out the contradiction. If you're constantly posting provocative photos, how can you be upset when people react to the very image you're projecting? It's like lighting a fire and then being shocked it's hot. The mixed messaging has left many rolling their eyes and calling her hypocritical, while others defend her, arguing she's simply owning her power and cashing in while she can.
And if I want to post a picture in my bikini, I should be able to without being sexualized, where I'm saying I'm asking for, or like being able to have a moment where like I'm being vulgar or I'm this, that, like it is. And it's the same. It's been happening for a really, really, really long time now.
And speaking of making bank, some fans believe Angel has every right to capitalize on her fame, even if it means leaning into the more provocative side of things. After all, athletes have always used their platforms to make money, and she's no different. But others argue she's drifting away from what once made her a role model, raising the question of whether she's cashing in at the expense of her principles. That debate only gets louder with the ongoing OnlyFans rumors, which are still very much alive.
And it's just like, it's also a negative sometimes though, because people think you're too worried about what you're looking like. Like, this has been a thing. Like, everybody's always wanted to look good on the court.
The idea is that Angel's recent shift from basketball to more entertainment-focused ventures, whether it's modeling or possibly OnlyFans, could be her way of getting ahead of a potential scandal. Some speculate she's pivoting away from the WNBA before anything official drops about the steroid rumors. Athletes have pulled this move before. When controversy starts closing in, they quickly diversify their income streams so that if the hammer falls, their bank account stays safe. If those steroid rumors prove true, it could mean suspensions or even a ban from the league, a career-ending blow. And that's why her growing focus on social media, modeling, and maybe even OnlyFans suddenly makes a lot more sense. It's like she knows the storm might be coming, so she's securing the bag in a whole new lane before everything blows up.